Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your man, Coach Toby J. And listen, you tuned in to the Changemaker Playbook Live Edition. The Changemaker Playbook Live Edition, and I'm pumped up tonight. Listen, totally pumped up because it's July 1st, and like I said, this whole month of July, the room gets bigger. The room gets bigger. For the last 6 weeks, you've been hearing my voice, but over the next 4 to 5 weeks on Wednesdays, 8 p.m., the room gets bigger as I'm going to invite guests into the room, people who I see as change makers. And trust me, they have wisdom to provide you, especially all my change makers. You know who you are. You know if you're a change maker. If you got a good inside game. You know what I'm talking about. If you've been following me all this time, you got a good inside game. A change maker is someone who allows change to happen on the inside of them so they can help create change around them. And I really believe tonight, for my first guest, I definitely have somebody who I believe is doing just that. His inside game is strong. And so for those of you who know anything about basketball, you know what it's like to have an inside game. You know, nowadays it's all about people want to shoot threes, right? But hey, you got to have a good inside game, especially if you want to be a change maker. So we're going to jump right into this tonight. There's something that I want to, share before I get started. Something that somebody sent me, and this is what it's all about. This is the reason why I kind of do what I do. Okay. I just want to read something somebody sent me this week. It says, so I have a friend who is going through it, saying, why me, and mad at God. Said, I want to thank you for the live you did on why not me. I'm able to share with them with a new mindset. Before I probably would have been closed-minded and missed an opportunity to help them. See, that's what this is about. A new mindset, that inside game. And now, as a result of that inside game, that new mindset, this particular person was able to help somebody around them. That's what we're here to do. We're not here just to drop wisdom on you and you walking around talking about that was tight, that was deep. Nah. We need you as a change maker to take what it is we're giving you and we're providing you and make a decision and then add action to that decision. Work on your inside game again. Work on your inside game. And as a result, assist those around you. Now, man, I am pumped up. I know y'all probably like, Come on with this. Listen, I'm trying to give some of you guys some time to get up in the room, to be honest with you. Let me see something here real quickly. Because for some reason I can't see everybody's comments tonight, but that's all right. I'll see them. So this guy that I'm getting ready to bring on here, man, some of you know who he is. Some of you don't know who he is, but that's all right. You're about to find out who he is. And the one thing about this brother right here, all the guests I'm going to have on here, I probably got to prep for it, right? As a matter of fact, I'm reading a book by one of the guests I'm going to have on here next Wednesday. Just prepping for it. I ain't got to prep for this dude. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a conversation. So this is like you eavesdropping in on a conversation tonight with my man. And when I talk about covenant friends, and I'm going to get into that here in a minute. When I talk about covenant friends, this guy's a covenant friend, a real covenant friend. So what I'm going to do, because I want to bring him on in the room, I want to make the room get bigger tonight. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a short video by my man. This guy, again, every time I introduce him as a man of God, because that's what he is. I introduce him as a son, as a father, as a husband, as a friend, covenant friend, a worship leader. That's what he is. He's a songwriter. He's international. And he has a message that he's been sharing from Morristown, Tennessee, where he lives, all the way to Taiwan, across the pond, all the way to Taiwan. And I want to share with you this a real quick reel of him singing this particular song that we will discuss tonight.
My beloved.
What's up, man?
What up, man?
What's
What
up,
up?
bro? We here.
We
We
here
about to
now,
do
man.
this. Yeah, we here. First, let me say this to you real quickly, man. First of all, I want to say thank you for taking time out of your day. Understand Stu on vacation. Like I say, your family, man. They on vacation, and so he's taking some time out. Tell Lord thank you for
Right,
allowing you, man, to spend some time with me. I was getting ready to say tell her I owe her, but I don't know what that might mean. I don't know what
right.
that might
Nah,
mean.
don't do
So,
that.
so, right, right. And so, but yeah, for real though, man, I really appreciate because time is valuable. I know you spending time with your family, man, but I just want to say thank you, man, for spending some time with me and the people on here tonight and those who will go back and watch this, the change makers. I just want to say thank you, bro. I really appreciate you, man.
You already know, man. You already know.
Man,
It's easy.
man, let me say this real quickly. Like
I'm
when I
getting,
talk about,
I'm getting the
go
picture
ahead,
real quick.
man, do what you gotta do, man. Do what you gotta do.
All right, we
Um,
good.
when I mention that this is covenant, my covenant friend right here. That's what he is. He's a covenant friend to me. And when I think about a covenant friend, man, I think about someone who's committed to your purpose, to your growth, and to you becoming. And this guy, and that's mutual. There has to be a mutual thing. You know, some people say that's my covenant friend. I've had people call me that's my covenant brother. But it's got to be mutual, right? It means I'm committed to your assignment. I'm committed to your purpose. I'm committed to your growth. I'm committed to you becoming. And when we talk about growth, on Changemaker Playbook, we always talk. I believe that change is the breeding ground for growth.
Mm.
And so, as a result of growth, that means that me and you done experienced some changes, man, together. And
Yeah,
we still together. You know what I'm saying? There's people who go through changes and
right.
man, they go
Came
they go
right
the
away
opposite
from each
way.
other.
Boom, they gone. And change hits, they can't deal. They don't, but man, as a result, but me and you, man, we done been through some changes. You done seen some of the changes I've been through, man. I've talked about it here on the live a few weeks ago about some of the changes I've been through, and you was there through all of those changes. Some of the things you've been through in your life, man. I've been there with you through those changes, man. We're like, as the Bible will say, Jonathan and David, man. Like you're like knitted at the heart, man. And I just want to tell you, man, I really do just want to tell in front of everybody that may be listening, that's gonna go back and listen to this, man. Listen, bro, I appreciate you, man. I
Mutual.
definitely appreciate you, man. So you ready?
I'm ready, man.
What?
Let's do it.
Okay, first of all, before we get into anything, man, go ahead and just kind of share with the people, man, what you got going on right now. Anything coming up? Anything
Man,
new that's getting ready to drop?
good.
I'm going to put your information right here
Okay.
up here too as well, where they
Yep.
can
It's gonna be
follow you,
scrolling.
man.
You can
Yeah.
follow me on all platforms. All platforms is that's where you can find me at. I got music digital. I got music digitally everywhere you listen to the music at. You can find my music. Um, iTunes, Apple. I mean, well, Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music. You type in my name, Stu, and my latest tune is called "Don't Worry." So if you type in Stu and then type "Don't Worry," it'll bring you right to all of my music. You'll have access to all of my tunes everywhere. Type Stu, Stew, don't worry. But along with that, man, like the tune y'all just heard, You Are Enough, that's coming out this year. I got some other projects and I'm super excited about. This is kind of like a sneak peek to everybody that's on here. Like y'all heard it first from me on the chain maker playbook. So I recorded my very first project 10 years ago. Man, we running that thing back. So we digitally remastering it, making it a whole lot. It was good then, but we doing all the
Right.
things to make it just better in 2026. It's definitely not a comparison thing. It's just, man, I wanted to give this project another shot, being that it on its 10-year anniversary. So um, that's some of the
Man, that
music
was
stuff
10
that I
years
got going
ago.
on. 10 years ago, man.
Dang, the one you did at,
Yes,
what?
freedom to the world.
Dang, that was 10 years ago. Oh my God. Hey, man.
Freedom to the,
That's
and we
crazy.
actually recorded it in July of 10 years ago in July. So that project is coming out, and that's a full project, 16 tracks coming. We releasing it. The hope is that the hope is October. Sometime in October, we'll be releasing that project again.
Man, congrats on that, man. That was a good night.
It was a great night, and the recording right now is great. So it's some of the stuff that I wish I had done before. I was like, just do it. Just go back and do the stuff, all of the stuff that you wish you could have done. Go back and do it, and then just put it out. And and might as well tell y'all, like, the album title is gonna be Freedom to the World again, but then it's gonna be Reimagined. So that's kind of like gonna be the new title of it, Freedom to the World Reimagined. So
we getting exclusive stuff on the Changemaker Playbook, live edition exclusive, dropping straight out the oven. Just
Freedom
fresh,
to the World Reimagined.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
that's what's up, man. So, man, let's kind of jump into this because I don't want to keep you, because you're with your family, man. I don't want to keep you on here all night. But just real quickly, man, let's go back to the song "You Are Enough," because I strongly believe that's your message, man.
Oh yeah.
You know, me and you be talking, and I'll be talking to you about how I really believe, for some reason, I don't know why, for some reason, change is something, man, that I feel like God has placed on the inside of me, because I feel like change is constant. It's something that's a part of life. It's something nobody can escape. You're going to deal with it one way or the other, and you can either allow change to lead to your demise, or you can allow change to produce growth in your life, man. And so, you are enough. For people who don't know, some people know, some people don't know, but you know, for you are enough, man. Share with the Changemaker Playbook audience. You know what I'm saying, man? Where did that song really come from? Where was you at, man, in your life in that song?
So first of all, it's a tune I wrote. Don't know if y'all know that or not. That's a tune that I wrote. So man, the story behind "You Are Enough" is, man, I was working at a factory. Nothing against factory at all. I did it faithfully because I needed to, had to. It was just my job. And I remember one day I was at this job at the factory, and man, I was feeling super frustrated, and feeling a bit defeated, to be honest with you, and thinking like, man, maybe I missed something somewhere, because how does working at this factory get me to doing music full time, or do the thing that I love, writing with people all over the world, meeting with people, helping people grow musically, leading worship, wherever at that point. And I remember the day on one particular day, man, I was super down. And I grew up, I love telling this part of my story. I grew up in a great home. My parents love me. I grew up in a decent church. You know, all churches have their problems. So my church wasn't devoid of problems, but it was a good church. I grew there. At that time I was married, wife loved me, kids loved me. So I wasn't like in a bad way. And out of all of that stuff, I heard God speak 3 words that in my 30-something years of living, I never heard those 3 words. And those 3 words were, "You are enough." And dude, they wrecked me. They wrecked me because, like, at the time I wasn't feeling enough, because I was in that mode of that the world that we often fall into in the world, where we think it's about what we do that defines how much, or as I say, defines our enoughness. That's my word. We live in a world that tells you when you got to be bigger, stronger, faster, all of the ers. And then the problem is you get trapped in these ers, because there's always going to be someone that is than you, smarter than you, faster than you. And so at the time, man, like I said, man, those words wrecked me, dude, because I never heard them. And I don't know, I can't remember if I think I might have wrote them down or jotted them down. And I remember just kind of holding on to those 3 words, like storing them away. Not knowing that I was gonna write a song, but definitely knew they were for me. And I'm like ugly crying in this masculine environment, working at the factory. I'm trying to hide because the words wrecked me, Toby. They absolutely wrecked me.
So let me ask you this, because I'm thinking about, man. So why you think that those words came to you at that particular time in your life? I know it may sound like a duh answer question, like the answer may be like duh, but why do you think at this particular time in your life, Eloise, what's going on? I'm seeing people comment, but uh, you was working at a factory job and blah blah blah. You said things was not bad, but
Right.
why do you think these particular words at this particular time? Oh my God! Look, oh my God! This is gonna lead into something right here. It's already going. Why do you think he spoke? Those words came to you at that particular time in your life.
I think sometimes, and I'm definitely not saying that I'm the person who I'm about to bring up, but it's that same moment where Paul is on his way to do some damage to what is called the Christian church, right? And Paul has this moment with a person that he now knows and then knew was Jesus. And in that moment that he encountered Jesus, a message was spoken to him. Of course, we hear the words that are written in the scripture that the voice said to him. But I believe Paul also had a moment that created space where God could speak to his heart, a message, right? And in that message that was developed, even though it wasn't yet time for him to share that message, but he received a message because it was going to be imperative that he shared a message. And for me, I think even in the moment that I was not feeling enough, I'm super thankful that the message was spoken to me and that it was able to. I had heard from God enough in my life to know that it was him, right? And not to let that word just go by the wayside, right? So even though I didn't know what it was for, I knew that it was something that I need to hold on to. And just like the message of Paul, when it came the right time, it became the message that I was assigned, that I was called to share. Because even as that song developed, like some of the lyrics to the tune says, the first lyric of the tune, and even when you listen to the song, like it's written different because it's a tune where as you listen to it, God is saying and singing over you. And then there's a flip that happens midway the tune where now I'm saying to God, and now I'm singing because I believe what God said over me. One of the first lyric of the tune starts off like this, and it's God saying, "You don't have to stress, my child. You don't have to gain my attention." And then I love this part. It says, "You don't have to work so hard because you already have my affections." And then it turns around where God is saying, "You are enough. You are enough." Why? Because you don't have to work so hard. You have my affection. And again, and that part came later. Only part I had was 3 words: "You are enough." And then it all developed into this thing where God is saying over me, you don't have to work. You don't have to stress. You have my affections. Midway the tune, the lyrics switch, and it says, "I'm your child and you love me." And from there, we go from saying, now we hear God saying, "You are enough. I'm your child," which now encourages me and empowers me to sing another 3 powerful lyrics that you're going to say that, man, I always tell people, it's going to be hard for you to say and sing, but it don't mean it's not true. These 3 words, it says, "I am enough."
How long did it take you to get to that stage, man? Like, you're hearing "you are enough."
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And now you get to a point literally where you start confirming it. You know what I'm saying? You start, it's that if we wanted to, we can really make this little transition. Because it reminds me of when John baptized Jesus and that voice came down and said, "You know what? This is my beloved son in whom I am well pleased." And I feel like that was a moment in that factory, the exact same moment in that situation in that factory where you heard those words, "You are enough." And then Jesus had to go into that wilderness experience before he got to the assignment, just like you're talking about. So what was your wilderness experience like? Like you hearing God saying to you, "You are enough." And now it's like, okay, there's, like you mentioned, the assignment. There's an assignment. And I've seen you, man, like I said, I've been to the Taiwan, man, and I've seen how people respond to that you are enough, then how they struggle with I am enough. So man, what was that wilderness experience like
Dude,
in your life, man?
so check this out. And I've never said this before because I've never thought about it. God gave me those words, just you are enough. And do you know I sang you are enough for about a year? Nothing else written. Nothing else written. No other part, no verse, no I am enough. Nothing. I sang you are enough for at least a year before I wrote the rest of that tune. And then singing that, it was like you said, it was, I would say it this way. It was some stuff being worked into me, and there was some stuff being worked out of me.
Come on,
because
man.
growing up in church, sometimes we get it twisted and thinking that it's about what I do that makes me become enough. We live in a world that teaches us it's about what I do that makes me enough. So that was one of those things that had to be worked out of me. And because of my belief systems, my belief, how I believe in Jesus is that what he did, it's either what he did or what I have to do. And I just believe in when Jesus said, however many words it is, y'all scholars can count it up and put it in the chat. When he said however many words, it is finished. When he said those words, for me, I live on that side of what Jesus said, which means what he did, it has to be enough for me. I'm living through the finished works of Jesus. So it's not about what I do that makes me holy. It's not about what I do that makes me sanctified. It's not about what I do that makes me righteous. It's all about what Jesus did on the cross that now makes me holy, righteous, sanctified. And I can stand flat-footed, as Pastor Rick, my pastor, would say. I can stand flat-footed and say, I'm holy, I'm righteous, I'm sanctified, I'm justified, I'm enough, I'm full of grace, I'm full of truth.
Redeemed.
Come on, man. I can say I'm all of those things because it's what Jesus did on the cross. And now I'm not trying to become those things. And I love saying this, Toby, but because I've been made those things, now I produce those things. So I'm not trying to be holy. I'm producing seeds of holiness because of what Jesus has done on the cross for me. And by faith, I'm living those things. I'm producing righteousness, seeds of righteousness, because that's what's been given to me through Jesus. And so for me, believing that, getting to the part, the saying, I am enough, I say it again, there was some stuff that had to be worked into me, and there was some stuff that I had to let go of because it didn't line up with my enoughness in Jesus and what he said about me and what he's saying over me. Right.
So I'm sitting here thinking about, man, that's tight. If it's like, I know there's times when I hear things and I'm like, man, why would I hear that at this particular time in my life, man? And you are enough, man. You are enough. That's a heavy statement, man, that you are enough. So obviously there was something that you was dealing with, man, in your life at that time that was making you feel as if you wasn't enough.
Right.
I don't know. And man, listen, this guy is an excellent songwriter. Excellent songwriter. If you looking for somebody to help you do things like that, you need to reach out to this guy. And I think what happens is so many times we look for the big name people. You know what I mean? You're looking for the big name people, blah, 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 but not realizing, man, this guy right here has wrote some powerful songs. I know, because I've been there when some of these songs has come to him. And the one thing, Stu, that I really, really, really like about you, man, is that once you grab something, once you get it, that you use the word locked in. Once you got locked in on the fact that, okay, you are enough. Okay, that's good. God, I'm glad you tell me that I'm enough. You are enough. I'm accepted in the beloved, as the Bible would say. But to get to that point where you say, you know what, I am enough. It don't matter what nobody say about me. It don't matter what I go through in my life. It just does not matter. I know that I am enough, man. So when I hear that, the thing that comes to my mind is identity. You know,
Yeah.
it's like identity. During that, when you was in that plant, that you was working, man. What would you say when it came to your identity? Like you said, there's some things you had to work on. There's some things you had to let go of. But what was one of the things, man? Was there times where you was questioning like your identity?
Oh yeah. And the biggest one of the biggest threats to identity is the thing that I had to deal with. And I've told you one of the battles you got to win is you got to win this battle. And here it is. One of the biggest threats to your identity that will make you question yourself and question who God says about you is shame. Shame. Shame is a killer of your identity. And that was one of the things that I had to deal with, man. Like I remember this big like the big shame monkey on my back. And I love what Pastor Rick says about shame is fear. You got fear and shame. And what fear does is fear makes you stop exactly where you're at. And it makes you take a seat. So fear, like say you getting on the diving board and you about to dive, you trying to dive off that mug, right? And fear, you get to that diving board and fear makes you stop right in the middle of it and not move. It paralyzes you. Fear paralyzes you. So you'll get as far as you can on the diving board and you'll stop. Fear makes you stop. Well, what does shame do? Here's what shame does. Shame doesn't just make you stop. Shame makes you do what Adam and Eve did when they sinned in the garden. Shame makes you run and hide. And the problem is now you can't be seen, right? That's what shame does for you. And so I had to win the battle of shame. That the answer to that question, that was like the first question you asked about like how did you get from you are enough to I'm enough. That was the biggest battle I had to win that for me to be able to now say I'm enough. And I remember during that time, one of my phrases was I had to develop a word where I had to become careless. I had to care less. And I remember during that time, man, I remember posting that, sharing that, all of that stuff. But it was really the thing that I had to live by because I became a slave to caring too much. I became a slave to caring that was empowered by shame. And the thing about me having to be intentional about caring less. Like I remember I had to have a conversation with Laura, my wife, had to have a conversation with my parents. And it was a tough conversation, but it was a space where I had to be at where, and this is how I phrase it. I couldn't care about what anybody thought about me. Not my mom, not my wife, not check this one, not even myself. Because all of what only thing that I had to hold on to, the thing that I had to hold on to was what God said about me. Now, if you lining up with what God says about me, we good. But we both know people can be fickle. Family, spouses, all of it. It can be just being real because you get mad, you say something sideways, and you know the people you love, you cared about, they get upset with you. They say something sideways, and now if you're tied to their words about you, man, you struggle, you're torn apart. And I'm like, I just choose to believe what God says about me, and that was the beginning of me beating shame. because I couldn't hold on to what I thought about myself, because sometimes what I thought about myself didn't line up with what God said about me.
Right.
But when I begin to say, these are the words that God has spoken to me, or these are words that I can find in the scriptures that he says about me, and I can hold on to those things. And one of those three words, "you are enough," were some of those words that I'll begin to say, okay, if this is what God is saying about me, anything else opposed to those words, I gotta care less about them. I gotta not just care less, but I gotta let them go and not care at all.
Come on, man. I'm sitting here thinking about what you're saying is like that. The voice of God has to become louder than all the opinions around you. Because if not, then those opinions become your compass. Mm-hmm. They begin to direct you. And not only just the opinions around you, but the ones in you. Yeah, man. It's the ones in you. Yeah, it's the ones that in you that really matter at the end of the day. And that's the reason why, man, I believe you are where you are. Because you got a strong inside game. And I think that was the season of your life. That was that Jesus wilderness experience. You know what I'm saying? It was that. We ain't talking about the wilderness that the children of Israel went through. You know, the children of Israel went through a wilderness where they was constantly believing God for like external things a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. You the guest. I want you to talk.
Check this out. Even if we talk about the children of Israel, the wilderness that they had to go through, it was to kill off a whole generation that couldn't align with what God was saying about them. You had you had 10 spies, or was it I don't remember the number. All you Bible scholars, y'all can write it in the chat. You had a certain amount of scholars. You had a certain amount of spies that came in and destroyed a whole concept of a whole generation of what God had said about them. And guess what? They went to the wilderness not like Jesus to be empowered and came out empowered, but they went through a wilderness for 40 years to kill off a negative mindset of people who could not see themselves the way God seen them. And they had to die to raise up a new generation that they might have had their struggles, but they didn't struggle with what God said about them. Or they had a leader that said, even though y'all struggling, this is what God said about us, so this is what we gonna do.
Absolutely. He said we can take the land, we can go take the land. And so all the grasshopper mindsets got to die. Because that's got to die. And that's powerful because that's what you start to see, even like but you compare it to that wilderness versus the wilderness that Jesus went through. I be hearing people talk about, have somebody say to me one time, man, there's times where the Spirit of God will lead you into the wilderness. Okay. If the Spirit of God ever leads you into the wilderness, he's not leading you into the wilderness, man, to try to humble you or to try to take you out no, he's leading you into the wilderness. Let me talk about Jesus. He's leading you into the wilderness because there's an assignment for you. And in order for you to fulfill that assignment, he needs to make sure that not him, not God, he needs to make sure that you are in check with your identity before you enter into that assignment, man. Man, there was something you said to me, and I want you kind of to talk about this a little bit. And I've shared it with somebody before. But, man, you talked to me, we was talking on the phone about that assignment. And how when he was in the wilderness, when Jesus was in the wilderness, it was all about identity. So anytime you're being led into the wilderness, that means you're getting ready to be tested. Your identity is getting ready to get tested. This is not a wilderness where you're in there trusting God. You know what I mean? No, this is a wilderness where God has spoken something concerning you, and you're in there to make sure that you are locked in. That's the word you use, that you're locked in with who you are, because when you leave this wilderness, there's an assignment. Man, try to put into perspective, and you did this to me on the phone, about that assignment Jesus had. Like, we act as if when Jesus left the garden, like as if back in those days, it was just like everybody was just it was just different. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like it was today, that people's mindsets wasn't like it was today. But man, kind of put into perspective, because Jesus had to make sure he knew who he was, because when he stepped out into society, if he didn't know his identity, man, go ahead. You know where I'm going with this, man.
Yeah. So, dude, I love. First of all, I love talking about Jesus, man. And even when we talk about the story of Jesus, I think it behooves us to go back to his birth and not read it like the people of God, people of Zion, but to read it and understand it like we real life people, like your cousin them would be understanding and talking about Jesus, and like his cousins them and the community was talking about Jesus. Like, so you got Jesus who had a questionable birth. Come on, man. Like, he had a questionable birth. It was so questionable that even an angel came to Joseph, because it said in Joseph's heart, in his heart and his thought, he was secretly saying, I'm going to divorce her privately as not to bring shame to her, which meant he didn't believe in it. Like, man, that's tough. We ain't do nothing. And
how'd you get pregnant?
You knocked up. And you telling me that the Holy Spirit did this thing. And so the angel comes to him and says, hey, brother, it's me. You know, what's happened to her is from God. And he stuck around. But even though he stuck around, you got to understand the whispers. Just man. If some questionable birth in your family, there are going to be some whispers. And those whispers, you know, they happen. And so even when Jesus is born, like, you got to, even as he grew up, he probably heard those whispers of saying, you know, man, this dude, he a bastard. You know, that was a bastard. He was conceived out of wedlock and this, that, and the other. Man,
don't know what daddy is.
Yeah, you don't know who his daddy is. Mom out here.
Jerry Springer. It's going Jerry Springer with Mary.
Legit. Or Maury. On Maury.
Maury.
Not the father, Joseph, you know. but okay, let me stay focused.
Right.
So even in that, he heard those whispers, and he had to hear the noise talking about his questionable birth. And so at Jesus at age 30, after hearing all of that noise, I love to say he comes down this hill, and John, who has been preaching about this dude, says, that's the guy who I've been telling y'all about. Man, I ain't worthy to wash his sandals, but that's him. And Jesus comes down to be baptized. And I love what happens is that amongst all of the people who've been talking about him, saying, you ain't this, you ain't that, you'll never amount to this, you'll never do anything good here. You'll never do anything good, Jesus. He's baptized in front of these people because people knew who John was. John had eyes on him because they thought John was the Messiah. So Jesus comes down, and I love that. It says he goes down in the water, and then the voice, and I believe this is in all the Gospels, it says that the skies open up, the sky opens up, and an audible voice. What does audible mean? It means folks heard the voice open up, and the voice spoke down and said over Jesus, this is my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased. And some version says my favor rests upon him. And what was God saying to Jesus? He was saying, before you do anything good,
come on, man,
you're already enough.
Come on, bro.
Before you do anything good, you're already enough. It's because it wasn't about what he had to do that made him beloved. It wasn't about what he did that made favor rest. It wasn't about what he did that made him enough. It was the voice of the Father saying over Jesus, this is my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased. And you got to understand this too.
He ain't even done nothing yet. He pleased and he ain't even.
No good thing Jesus had did. and the voice spoke where everybody could hear. You want me to stop there, or we're gonna keep going on?
Oh man, we 40 minutes in, man. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Go for it, man.
so he did
'Cause-
that. Okay, so one thing real quickly is when we're talking about this, and this is something that I really feel like I'm being led to speak on more and more and more. And that's approval addiction, man.
Mm.
That's approval addiction. Like that's why me and you at the beginning we talking about covenant friends, and we talked about how covenant friends. See, people use that loosely. People, that's my covenant brother. Nah, brother, no, we ain't. We're friends, but we're not covenant. See, covenant is when your assignment, you're committed to somebody's assignment. I'm gonna say it again. You're committed to someone's assignment. You're committed to someone's growth. You're committed to someone becoming, even if you don't get nothing out of it. Even if you ain't getting nothing out of it. Listen, I'm committed, and that's what's happened with me and you, man. I'm not, look, I had no idea that when me and you first met, that we would be where we are. I mean, none. I mean, like, literally none. I was like, who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? But man, little did I know that God would begin to knit our hearts together because our assignment are in alignment. You're talking about you are enough. I'm talking about, okay, approval addiction. People who deal with approval addiction are people who think they're not enough. And so because you think you're not enough, you're thinking there's so much you got to do. You got to perform. You got to get some type of validation. You got to get some type of acceptance in order for you to be enough or in order for you to fulfill an assignment. And the thing I like what you just said is that when you have been given an assignment and you're called to do this assignment, God already confirmed you and pleased with you before you ever did the assignment. So when you are in the midst of the assignment and you make mistakes, things don't go the way you thought they was going to go, guess what? You got to go back. You got to go back and remember, I'm still enough.
Yep.
I'm still the redeemed. I'm still this beloved son of God. Oh God, let's not even get there, man. I'm still this beloved son of God, man, who told me that I am enough before I ever started doing what it is I've been purposed to do, man. And that's the thing I love about you, man. We've been through some stuff together. We can sit here and talk about it. We've been through some stuff together. But one of the things that me and you have definitely done is, man, we're covenant brothers. And I can be honest with you. If I would be real, you're probably the only covenant brother that I got. I got friends. Don't get it twisted. But covenant, were you still there in the midst of all my changes? You ain't giving up on me. You still telling me, man, God ain't through. Hey, man, I remember calling you, man. I was going through my divorce situation. I was like, Stu, man, I don't know if I was all over the place, man, during that time, man. And you know what? One thing you never did, you never condemned me. You never talked crazy about me. You never gave up on me. You continue to speak into me, and man, and vice versa. It's vice versa. And to hear what you're saying, you are enough. Helping people with getting through approval of this. I think there's a whole church load of people sitting out here. I'm gonna say it, that are sitting in pews today, performing, waiting for validation, trying to be approved, trying to be accepted, waiting on some man to tell them, hey, I don't need. Listen, Stu. Once God told you are enough, you don't need no man to tell you that. I don't need no man to prophesy over me. I already know that, bro. Right. Thank you. Right. You're just confirming what I already know.
Perfect. Yep.
Man, go ahead, man. We running out of time. We running out of time. But go ahead, man, and share. I'm gonna let you share these last few minutes. What's in your heart, man?
No,
go ahead.
And I think too, when Jesus, those words are spoken to Jesus, and then he's led into a wilderness.
Come on, man.
And he's led into a wilderness for 40 days. And for 40 days, he was tempted by the enemy. And it's noteworthy to say the thing that he was tested on was his identity.
The
Because
whole time.
right. And
The
we
whole
know,
time.
and we know of a few temptations, but all of those temptations started with what? If you be the Son of God, because Jesus was tempted on the very last words that he said the Father speak over him before he went into that wilderness, which means Satan does not know. He's not all knowing. He's not all knowing. But what he did understand was this, and he understands this about you and I. If he can get us to second guess our identity, he may not can destroy our purpose or the thing that we're called to do, but he may put a delay on it, because now you may still be called to do this, that, do whatever it may be. But the delay is you're trying to figure out who you are, and you've taken on all these different identities and all of these different layers of people and things and ideas and characteristics and all these things that ain't you. It just ain't you.
So hold on real quick. Real quick. Delay. You said something about delay. So sometimes delay is not necessarily you waiting on God. Sometimes delay is God waiting on you to confirm whether or not you believe who you are. Yep. Let me leave it alone. Keep going.
No, yep, that's it. That's it. And I told, and this is another battle that I told Toby. I've said this too. If you're gonna do anything great, if you're gonna do not just great, if you're gonna do anything effective in life, at work, in the kingdom, in your career, in whatever it may be that you set in your heart to do, one of the first battles that you have to win is the identity battle. You got to lock it in. And I teach my kids now. I'm trying to raise kids that don't do things trying to prove to me. I want you to know from a very early age that you are enough, and it's not about what you do. I learned this thing at age 30 something. If I can get my 6 and 7 year olds to learn this now, the places they can go and the things they can do, because they understand it's not about what you do. You are already enough, and from that enoughness, now you go be great. You don't go be great so you can become enough. You don't go be the top of your class. You don't go be the best athlete on the field so you can become enough. No. It's from my enoughness that now I'm producing things, right? You gotta win. One of the first battles you must win. You got to win the identity battle. Why do you say that, Stu? Because that's what Jesus did. He was so locked in his identity that after 40 days of being tempted, 40 days of fasting at his weakest time, that he comes out empowered to do what he was called to do, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Oh.
We need another hour.
Man, bro. Listen, man. I like what you said about your kids, man. I think that's something that even as parents, that's something you just threw something out there that even as parents that we have to grab a hold of, is that we got to take on the heart like the Father. Like, you are my beloved child, son and daughter, in whom I'm well pleased, before you even done anything. Listen, and so if I can, and that means, like what you just said, that means there's nothing that you need to prove to me to make me love you more. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing
to make me love you less.
Absolutely. Nothing to love you more or love you less. You know what I'm saying? Period. Before you even do anything. So get that out your mind. I'm always going to love you.
My God.
I'm always going to be pleased with you.
Tongues, boy.
You know what I'm saying? I'm always. So go on and become the person that God is calling you to become. Don't worry about trying to prove yourself to me. Don't worry about that. And I think if we can grab that mindset in a lot of areas of life, even within the quote church world, where hey, I don't need you to prove anything to me, or I'm here to edify and equip you to go forth to do what it is God has called you to do. You're not here to get validation from me. You're not here to get my approval. You're not here to get my acceptance. You're here to be edified and equipped by me. And if we can teach, and it's something I heard you say, the faster we can learn who we are, man, the quicker, man, you can experience success, man, here on this earth, man.
I agree.
The faster it, like you said, it would behoove you. It would behoove you to learn that as fast as you possibly can when it comes to your identity. Now, you're constantly working on that, though. It's like you're constantly in this Jesus wilderness. You know what I'm saying? Where there's an assignment that comes up, and before the assignment comes up, you find yourself in this Jesus wilderness because God is trying to make sure that you know who you are before you step foot into what it is I'm about to call you in, because there's going to be a lot of challenges. And if you allow the same people who praised Jesus were the same people who said crucify him at the same time, if you allow those people, man, to their voices become louder than my voice, man, like you said, man, it's going to produce some delay. It may cause you to doubt. It may cause you never to walk in what it is I called you to do. And you're sitting out here thinking it's timing. No, it's not. It's not. It's if you would just come to the realization, recognize, respond, recognize. I ain't got my sign up here. Respond, recognize, grow, lead. If you would just come to the recognize who you are, and then you start growing in that, man, you start leading yourself. And when you start leading yourself, which is that inside job, then you start creating change around you and helping be able to lead other people around you, man. You got the last few minutes, man. We're going to wrap it up.
I love it, man. One of the messages, even though we're talking in this same vein of the voice speaking over the voice of God speaking over Jesus, saying you are enough. The thing that I love is that what doesn't happen is because you know you're enough, you don't become this person who is so caught up in yourself that now like I'm enough and I'm only enough. It's just me. There's only I can be enough. No, when you truly understand that you're enough, now you become a person that now reminds others of their enoughness. And that's the thing that I love, man. Like when you really got it, when you really believe you're enough, now you go out and spread the word. You try to remind other people of their enoughness. Come
on, man. To all the change makers out there, man, as you've been watching, those who going to go back and watch this, I know we a little long. These probably going to be longer than when I'm on here by myself, because we got two people in the room. We got two voices in here. And but if you're a change maker, man, I just want you to know that you are enough. You are enough. And the place you need to settle that is within you. Now, I know I've said some things about the timing of God. I do believe in the timing of God. Don't get it twisted. I do believe there's a timing. But then I also think that sometimes us not coming to the realization, like you said, of who we are is the delay. That's the delay, is you understanding who you are. So because you don't know who you are, you don't walk in your assignment with confidence. You don't walk in your assignment with boldness. Because think about it, Jesus had to walk with boldness in that assignment, because he out there telling people, if you seen me, you seen the Father. I mean, come on, man. That's bold. That's a bold statement. And so like for people who are like, you Christians, hey, me and you say this on the phone all the time, and it's bold and it's radical. But if you seen me, who you seen?
Father.
Seen Jesus. You seen Christ. If you see me, because that's my whole purpose in life, is to be conformed into that image. According to Romans 8:29, my whole purpose is to be conformed into the image of Christ. So if you're looking for Christ, you need to start looking for some people who are conforming into that image. And when they're conforming into that image, what they do, like you said, I heard this is something I heard a long time ago. You teach what you know, but you produce who you are. And if you're conforming into the image of Christ, then that's what you start to produce. You produce the heart, like you said, you produce the heart of the Father. You produce the love of God. You get rid of condemnation. You remove shame. You see people totally different when you look through that lens, man. But man, listen, man, I appreciate you, man. We've been on here almost really for an hour, which is, hey, it's all good. It's all good. You dropped some serious wisdom tonight, man. And listen, this dude, I know, listen, I know ministers, I know pastors, I know people been in that pulpit for years, but I'm gonna tell you this, straightforward. You know, because this, what we're doing now, it's gonna go from virtual to live. Believe that. We coming live. Man, we still got business. Still got business to take care of from years ago that we started, Stu. Our assignment is still together. From years ago that we started, we coming live. This man right here, listen, he sings, but man, I would put a mic in his hand and tell him to teach in a heartbeat. I don't listen. I know a lot of pastors. I know a lot of ministers. But when it comes, you wonder who gonna be a guest, you ain't got to call me. You ain't got to call me at all because I already know who I'm connected with, who my assignment is connected to, and it's with this man right here, Kerry Stewart. And man, God has knitted us together. And dude, at one point, you came to me asking me to mentor you, and now it's a reciprocal thing, man.
Yeah.
Man, we teach one another, man. We learn from each other. There is no hierarchy here. There's none of that. And, you know, I learned so much from you. You learned so much from me, man. We take that thing, man. We apply it to our lives, and we see change happen in our lives, man. That's how this thing goes, man. Listen, I'm getting ready to drop off of here. Remember, let me throw this back up on here real quickly. Follow Stu.
Yeah, follow me on all platforms at I Am Stu Official. And again, you can listen to and find my music on all digital platforms. If you type my name STEW Stu and you type in "Don't Worry," it'll lead you to my latest tune, and it'll lead you to all the rest of my music I have out.
There you go. Remember, all month long, the room get bigger. I got another guest next Wednesday that you definitely want to come up in the room. I will reveal those guests on Mondays. So Mondays, every Monday, I'm revealing who the guest is. And so next Wednesday, the room gets bigger. It's July the 8th, 8 p.m. Man, share this with somebody. Man, tag somebody in this, man. Tell them to go back and listen to it. As a matter of fact, YouTube, I need you to go to YouTube to the @ChangeMaker'S Playbook page on YouTube, because this right here gonna be gone in 30 days on Facebook if you watch it on Facebook. But on YouTube, it's gonna be on there, and you can go back and watch it. I'm gonna throw you out some nice clips from this. But man, share this with somebody, man. Tag somebody in this that may need to hear it. Okay. God bless you guys. I love you. To all my change makers, go out there, man. Inside game, make it happen so that you can change people around you. God bless you.
Love y'all, man.